CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. It shook homes, swayed trees, and rumbled its way across the province, putting people from Vancouver Island to Hawaii on high alert. Last night's magnitude 7.7 earthquake was one of Canada's strongest on record, rocking Vancouver Island and prompting evacuations across BC's northern and central coast. It also set off a large-scale tsunami warning, sending fears to Alaska, the Washington coastline, and all the way across the Pacific. The earthquake struck just after 8, 17 kilometers below the Earth's surface off Haida Gwaii. People near the epicenter reported feeling a violent jolt that lasted up to a minute. The quake also shook homes across the province, with people as far as Edmonton reporting feeling the shake since the initial quake. There have been dozens of aftershocks, the largest, a magnitude 6.3, striking sometime late this morning. Remarkably, there has been little damage. CTV's Louise Hartland begins our coverage.
It is the ultimate wedding crasher.
Earthquake.
A 7.7 magnitude earthquake.
This is insane. Oh, the lights went out.
Sends a bridal party and guests in Masset running for safety.
That's one way to end the dance.
The earthquake itself was quite significant. It felt like a train rolling through.
The quake was centered near Haida Gwaii, but felt hundreds of kilometers away.
7.7 is quite significant, and it's a slightly unusual mechanism than what we would normally expect for earthquakes in that area. Normally we expect a dominantly strike slip or transform fault, which is like a sideways motion like you see in California. But for this event, it's more of a compression, the two plates coming together.
In Prince George, homes were shaking. People as far away as Edmonton say they felt the ground move. As big as it was, very little damage was recorded. And after the shaking stopped, fears turned to the ocean.
We know that at 7.7, we're looking at the beginnings of a tsunami. We're expecting to see some level of inundation, and we did see up to about a half a meter in some of the most heavily impacted areas.
A tsunami warning was issued for BC's central coast, including the northwestern shores of Vancouver Island, sending people as far south as Tofino scrambling to higher ground.
People in those communities know what to do, and once the shaking stopped, people didn't wait for officials to tell them to start moving. For the exposed west coast of Vancouver Island, in Tofino, what we saw was about a 12-centimeter wave, so that is really very small, and it was also at low tide. So this meant that there was virtually nothing that was experienced on the coast.
Tsunami warnings were also issued for the Hawaiian Islands.
The Civil Defense calling for an evacuation of all low-lying areas because of a tsunami threat in our area that generated by the 7.7 earthquake in Canada.
And the aftershocks continue. Some reports suggest there have been hundreds, as high as 6.3 in magnitude.
No, it's happening again. Yes, it's another tremor.
Expected to shake things up for days, even weeks to come. Louise Hartland, CTV News, Victoria.